Hello, I'm Jane Dutton, and in the next half an hour we'll take a look at the day's top local and international news. This is ENCA. The former Deputy Finance Minister will take the stand next at the state capture inquiry. That's as the first witness confirms widespread tender abuse. Zimbabwe's Constitutional Court to hear the opposition's challenge to the election results. We get analysis shortly. And Gauteng has an answer for the housing backlog in the province. The first serviced stands are about to be rolled out. So no explosive evidence yet from the state capture inquiry. The first witness was Treasury's acting procurement chief officer, Willie Mathebula. He highlighted a number of abuses of the tender processing system. Former Deputy Finance Minister B.C. Jonas will appear before the Commission when it resumes on Friday. Aldrin Sampier reports.
It was evident from the onset that no explosive evidence was expected.
The evidence of Mr. Mathebula falls outside the parameters of Rule 3.3. He does not implicate any persons in his statement. His testimony does not address the factual circumstances of any alleged malfeasance that may have taken place in the past.
But Willie Mathebula's evidence lays the foundation for the state capture investigation. He went into detail outlining the legal framework of procurement processes and how the system has been taken advantage of.
I'm sure one could always ascribe at least more than 50% of these infractions to intentions to abuse the system.
This will become crucial in determining how Gupta-linked companies benefited irregularly from government's annual 800 billion rand tender spend. Mathebula's testimony also reveals gaps in consequence management where transgressions have been highlighted.
You have investigated certain matters and referred them for criminal prosecution. But once you've done that, you have no control over what happens to those transgressors.
The current instruments that we're using, where we bar people from doing business with government for quite some time. But of course, the other part is that the criminal part where people should be subjected to.
The lack of swift criminal investigation is also central to the case of the former finance minister, Mcebisi Jonas. While Jonas, under oath, told the former public protector 2 years ago that the Guptas offered him 600 million rand to take the finance ministry job, the Hawks are yet to conclude that investigation. Aldrin Sampier, Johannesburg.
2 metro rail carriages have been set alight in the Western Cape. It brings the number of incidents to 7 in the last few months. The DA says one solution to tackling the challenges at Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa is for each metro to take over Metro Rail. The party held a briefing at Parliament on what it says is a leaked report by the Auditor General detailing the rot at the rail agency. Artie Nasi has more.
Some say South Africa's railway system is nothing short of a train smash. The DA echoes this, adding the rail agency is in crisis. It says it's travelled across the country to investigate the problems plaguing PRASA.
Just this morning we have seen the reports of yet another train set on fire here in Cape Town at the Koeberg station. And it's now the 7th train fire in the city in the last few months alone. Commuters also are unsafe due to a severe lack of safety officials and security presence, especially police, to patrol train stations.
The party released a leaked report detailing the Auditor General's comments about PRASA's dire financial circumstances.
The report states, and I quote, "The entity and group have incurred a loss of 1.7 billion and 1.3 billion rand respectively for the year ending 31 March 2017. This resulted in a, and I quote again, the accumulated loss as at 31 March 2017 is 4.4 billion for the entity and 4.5 billion at the group level."
The DA says it will take action against those responsible.
Based on the information on this report, the DA will lay charges against those implicated in terms of the PFMA, which in this case is the PRASA's board, who serves as the entity's accounting officer.
ENCA was unable to reach PRASA for comment. Artie Narsi, Parliament.
Kanyamazani residents have had the opportunity to share their grievances directly with the Premier of Mpumalanga. Rufile Mtsweni has been going from door to door in the town. Residents have been protesting since last week. They want government to repair their storm-damaged homes. The Premier says more contractors are needed to complete repairs.
Restored.
Delivery strike in Matiele in the Eastern Cape is over. The Eastern Cape Transport Department has committed to start fixing roads in the area. The town has been locked down since last week. And furious residents of Atlantis and Cape Town have taken to the streets demanding houses and jobs. The community says it's been neglected by government. The protesters blocked several roads with burning tyres. Several members of the Dutch Reformed Church are challenging the church's move to reverse its decision to allow same-sex unions. The church opposed this application, which was heard in the North Gauteng High Court today. Same-sex marriage has been legal in South Africa since the Civil Union Act came into force in 2006. NCA's Mia Spiss has the story.
In 2015, the Dutch Reformed Church took the landmark decision that the church would recognize gay marriages and unions, and that gay ministers can be ordained without the need for them to be celibate. But a year later, the decision was overturned. Today, a group of church members, including activist Laurie Gum, challenged the church's U-turn.
It was a botched process. It wanted not to implement a decision taken fairly and squarely, a courageous decision, and it was also unconstitutional in the process because it discriminated against people's rights to equality.
The church's moderator, Minister Neelis Janse van Rensburg, says the move is not unconstitutional.
We're sure that we, within our constitutional rights as a church, to have a discernment process, to consider our own doctrinal position, what we understand the Bible teaches us. So I think we, within our constitutional rights.
The Commission for Gender Equality, admitted as a friend of the court, says this case has a far wider reach than the church community.
This court case affects all citizens who are from the LGBTI community, and we believe as a Commission for Gender Equality, this will be a groundbreaking case should it be ruled in our favor.
Judgment has been reserved. Mia Spies, Pretoria.
The MDC's challenge of ZANU-PF's election victory will be heard in court on Wednesday. The opposition party is refusing to accept the results announced by the Electoral Commission, saying the polls were flawed. One Zimbabwean lawyer says he's confident the judiciary will not further tarnish its reputation by favouring a political party.
I think that the judiciary has tended either to be self-censoring, sometimes conservative, preferring to focus only on technical matters when there are bigger political questions to be determined. My own sense is that it's a big bench that's going to determine this matter. It would be unfair to simply refer to such a big bench as captured, because there's a diversity of legal opinion, but the expertise is phenomenal. Whatever view you take, we have some of the finest legal minds sitting on that bench and some of the finest legal minds on both sides arguing this particular petition, and it's being televised. It would be a missed opportunity if the Zimbabwean judiciary opted for a politically convenient judgment.
And a little later in the show, the local representative of the MDC Alliance will join us, but we're going to take a short break now. See you very soon.